Hello, welcome to Caesar's Snack Sandwich. Today I'm going to be taking a quick look at Digit. Now, Digit is a very user-friendly one-click type system for getting yield currently on stablecoins. If we go into the dashboard, you can see the options right now. Add position, we have Earn, which is a US dollar stablecoin, USDC, USDT, and DAI. So you can put these assets in here and you can earn some yield on them on this Digit. It's very easy, very user friendly. Just click, 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 click. You're done. You can kind of go in and explore the dashboard more because when you open positions, there's a lot more data to be had and to be checked and stuff like that. But it's still quite user friendly and easy to use. Okay, so this Digit, in order to understand how this thing works, we kind of have to look at the entire like Oath ecosystem. In the past, I did do a video on ETHOS Reserve, the Earn token, and you can watch that video, but I'm going to explain all of it again this time because when I made that video, these docs weren't live. I was using a Medium article and I made some assumptions and there was actually some mistakes. So I'm going to go through and explain how the Earn works so that if you wanted to open this Earn position, you would understand how this Earn stablecoin works and what you're basically getting for that, okay? So here's the ETHOS reserve. And then you also kind of have to understand Reaper and ReaperFarms, which is basically just auto compounding vaults. You put your tokens in here, they farm the rewards, they sell the rewards, and they auto compound for more. So in this case, it would be staked Earn. They would take the Earn and stick it. I'll show you on the flowchart where it goes and how it gets the yield and stuff like that. So you kind of have to understand all of these things to kind of really understand the power of this like Digit system and how it adds to that whole entire Oath ecosystem. So let's swing over to the flowchart and I'll go through things step by step. Okay, so here we are on the flowchart. We have Dollar Bill. He's got some ETH or some BTC on Optimism, and he wants to play with this. Okay, so the first thing he's going to have to play with first is the ETHOS reserve to try to get that Earn token. Now he could always just buy the Earn token, but let's go through and do it the proper way. Okay, so he would deposit these assets into Earn, and he would borrow that ERN stablecoin with 0% interest. Now there are fees to borrow, but I'll get to the fees in a second. Okay. His assets, what makes this special is his assets, the ETH and the BTC, are sent to these special vaults in the ETHOS reserve. These are like siloed vaults. Only the ETHOS reserve assets are inside these vaults, and those assets are going to very low risk earn low risk yield farms, like basically lending protocols, maybe Lyra, and maybe in the future they will upgrade them to more degen stuff. But for the most part, it's just going into like Granary and Sane and stuff like this, and just farming like simple APR that's pretty safe and easy and not too complicated. Okay, so the ETH vault will be going to them, the WBTC vault will be going to them, all of the different collaterals that are the possibilities of Earn of the ETHOS will go into their own vault, and their own vault will, go yield farm with those assets. Okay. Now, what can he do with this ERN token? There's a lot of possibilities now, and that's what makes it scalable is the ability for this ERN to be put to work in other places. So he can lend it on lenders like Granary and stuff like that. He can provide liquidity on Velodrome or AMMs that currently have Earn stablecoin, like even Velocimeter is supporting Earn on Phantom. So you can take that out and you can go yield farm liquidity pools, right? And get some governance tokens that way. Or you can stick your Earn into the stability pool. Now the stability pool is used for liquidations and redemptions of bad positions. So if his collateral ratio starts getting bad, then the Earn inside this liquidity pool or inside this stability pool will be able to be flash loan used to close his position, to liquidate his position. And say if his position is bad and it does get liquidated, well then that collateral that is taken from his position, his collateral, is paid to the people in the stability pool in kind. So if he had opened an ETH pool, an ETH collateralized debt position, then it would liquidate his position with these Earns that are in there, and it would give all that ETH, or the vast majority of that ETH, to the people who are in there, and they could claim as ETH, right? So that's how that stability pool works. Moving on. So there's also this yield here. Okay, remember I told you this thing's creating yield. So what these vaults do with the extra yield that they're creating, they don't keep it, they take it, that yield, and they use it to buy back the oath token. And the oath token is, like I said, the oath governance token of this entire ecosystem of all these different tools that are going to be described here. So they use that ETH or they use that BTC to buy that oath token through the Beethoven X8020 pool. And then they take that oath token and they give it to the people in the stability pool as well. Now, if you're a little bit lazy and you don't want these tokens, you just want more earn, you just want more stable coins, you don't want to like speculate, you don't want this, you can put your earn into the staker. And what that basically does is it stakes, it gives you ST earn, okay, staked earn. And that earn is then put into the stability pool. These tokens are harvested, sold for more earn, and you're getting more earn. So it's an interest bearing stablecoin, ST earn, okay? So it just makes it a lot easier for people, okay? Now, like I said, there are borrow and redeem fees, okay? So I'm going to be very clear on this, okay? So when he borrows, there's a small fee. It's showed on the, it's variable, but it's not big, but it'll always show on the front end when you're going to borrow. It's based on like the borrow fees go up as the redemptions are happening so that it slows redemptions down and then gradually decays again. So you have to kind of look at the front end at what the current borrow fee is. There's no exact number that I can give you, but the borrow fees and then the redeem fees, this is not when Dollar Bill says, hey, I want to close my position, right? If he wants to close his position, he wants to pay off his debt and take out his collateral, there's no fee to do that. This is when some bot comes along and says, oh, his position's not super healthy, so but it's profitable for me to redeem his position. So they will do the redeem, okay? So they redeem that position for him. So he can get liquidated even though he's not in a liquidatable position, but it's called a redeem. It's a redemption. It's from liquidity. Liquidity LUSD has the same system as well there. Okay, but anyway, so there's fees on both of those, and those fees go to these people who have this LP staked for B oath. Okay, so B oath is you build this LP and you stake it and you get B oath token, and if you hold the B oath token and you stake that into the ETHOS reserve staker, then these fees will go to you. Okay. The fees from these redemptions, okay? Moving on, now another opportunity for this earn token is to stick it in digits, which I started this whole video on talking about. So you basically, it's very simple. You deposit it into this, right? And your earn will be sent to a Reaper vault. It's pretty much this vault right here, which is, auto compounding the stability pool, right? But what makes this special is when you deposit into digits, you're minted an NFT. It's a relic NFT. Now I do have a video that explains reliquary in more depth, but it's pretty simple. If I can explain it in a couple of sentences, and that is the longer you hold, the bigger, the more rewards you get, okay? So when you put this token, when you put your tokens in here, if you're in here earlier and you stay in here and you don't change your position, then your position matures, okay? And you get more rewards. So obviously you're still getting these auto compounding because your earn is sent to Reaper. So this is auto compounding. But on top of that, you're also getting some B oath, some oath tokens from the treasury. Okay, so they have these oath tokens that come from the treasuries, and the amount of these oath tokens you get increases the longer you're holding this NFT, right? So if you think of it like maybe there's like 10,000 tokens that are going to go to all of the people inside here. That's all the same. But if I've been in here earlier, let's say we mean you have the same amount of tokens. We both put 100,000 tokens in here, 100,000 earn tokens, but I've been in here for a month or 2 months more longer than you, then I will get more oath than you. But that same 10,000 will be the same. It's not like it's going to mint more tokens and increase inflation. It's just I get some of your tokens in a way, to think of it that way, because I've been in here longer. Now this oath token is a little bit confusing. So sometimes when you're looking around, you might be picking up a bribe, you might pick buying a might be getting some oath somehow, and you'll find out that maybe there's two versions of oath. Okay, so there's oath version 1 and oath version 2, and you have to convert your version 2 to version 1 if you want to create bonded oath. Okay, so they're trying to work on this right now and fix this and figure out how to migrate it, but that takes time because you have to migrate all of this liquidity and so forth. So that's kind of a pain. Okay, so anyhow, so you might end up having some oath in your wallet and you come here to create this bonded oath and you're like, hey, it doesn't work. You probably have to migrate from V2 to V1. And if you're farming this, you're going to getting these V2 as well. Okay. Now, on top of this digit also I showed you, it has ETH, DAI, USDT. So it's the same thing. Okay. So you could also deposit that into digits. It will go to a different Reaper vault, and that Reaper vault will, create yield in that, and as well as you'll get some of the oath emissions. Now these emissions, I'm told, are from the treasury, so they're already calculated in the circulating supply, and then that also means that they're not forever. They could be turned off at some point in the future. Now the yield, they do say that the yield of this Reaper Vault is greater than this oath. This is just a little boost on top of it to kind of, encourage people to get in there. Now the last thing that I've been told, I haven't found this in writing anywhere, but I've been told that pretty soon, instead of these buybacks going to the stability pool, because the stability pool is quite healthy already, instead of the buybacks going to the stability pool, they're going to take that oath instead and give it to people who take bonded oath, B oath. So you create the LP, you stake it, you get B oath. You take your B oath and you stake it into digits. You get a reliquary, and these oaths will go to you instead. Okay, so these buyback oaths will go to the people who are staking bonded oath into digits. Okay, so that's pretty much it. This is how I understand it now. There's a little bit of there's no live docs for you to confirm exactly what I'm saying. However, you can check and watch, and the docs will be live soon. I had to talk to some of the people who have built this in order to get an understanding of what's going on here. And again, I could be wrong on some parts of this, especially this new part down here. Okay, so take care. Hope this has been useful and interesting, and thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.